the night the stars fell. Once upon a time, a king became very ill. His illness lasted for 12 long days. On the 12th day, these 8 maidens were very scared, but they were also determined to save the king. They traveled for a long time until they came across a deep and dark forest. They decided to rest here for a while. She put the vial near the king's bed, and as soon as he drank some water, he became stronger. The next day, he sent her to bring more water from the wishing spring. She returned to the lake and once again filled her vial. But as soon as she did this, a giant frog jumped out of the lake and tried to catch her. The farmer was very poor, but he loved his son more than anything in the world. One day, the farmer went to the field to work, but he took his son along with him. As soon as they entered the field, a big, bad wolf appeared before them. The wolf snarled and scared them a lot. The farmer told his son to run away, but he didn't. Instead, he stood his ground and stared at the wolf. The wolf was very surprised to see this, and he asked the boy, "Why aren't you running away?" The boy replied, "I am not afraid of you." The wolf laughed and said, "That's quite a lot, coming from a tiny little boy like you. If you are not afraid of me, then come with me and I will show you a magical world." The boy agreed, and both of them entered the woods together. But she quickly threw some sand at it and escaped. As soon as they stepped into the forest, a big bad wolf came before them. He snarled and scared them a lot. This continued for 8 days, and every time she returned, an animal tried to stop her, a wolf, a fish, and a frog. But every time she defeated them with her sand. Finally, on the 8th day, the king was completely cured. But one of the maidens threw some sand on his face. All of them became the queen in the most magical kingdoms in the world, and they lived happily ever after. Immediately, he fell asleep. Then they ran as fast as they could and finally reached a beautiful lake. The wolf knocked on the door and said, "I have brought you a present." A scary witch opened the door and said, "Oh, how nice of you, but I don't need any presents." The wolf said, "But this is no ordinary boy. He is the boy who is not afraid of anything." The witch's eyes opened wide in surprise, and she said, Well, this is quite interesting. Let us go inside." The witch took the boy to her backyard and said, "This is a magic hen. If you can carry her to the market, I will let you keep her." The boy agreed, and he took the hen to the market. But on the way, he met a hunter. The hunter was very surprised to see a boy carrying a magic hen. He said, "If you are not afraid of me, then carry me to my ship." The boy agreed, and he helped the hunter to get on his ship. But on the way, they met a king. The king was very surprised to see a boy driving a ship. He said, "If you are not afraid of me, then marry my daughter." The boy agreed, and he married the princess. He became the prince of that kingdom, and he lived happily ever after. He sent messengers all over the kingdom to look for a wise man who could cure him. They could see a magnificent castle. One of the maidens dipped her hands into the lake and filled her vial with water. Suddenly, the water started boiling. A moment later, a huge fish jumped out of the water and tried to eat her. But she quickly threw some sand in its eyes. The fish immediately fell down, and the girl took this chance to run away. Now, a wise man appeared in the court. The king was so happy that he said, "You can have anything you want." But the wise man asked for something very strange. He asked for 12 beautiful maidens to be brought before him, one for each hour of the night. The king agreed and sent his men to get the maidens. As soon as they were brought before him, the wise man took them to the window and let them look up at the night sky. Do you know what he told them? Even my magic is not enough to cure you now. Only the water from the wishing spring can help you, but it is guarded by a terrible dragon. You will have to find it yourself. Saying this, he gave each maiden a small vial and some sand. Then he let them go. He told them to make a wish upon every falling star they saw. Each maiden made a wish, and as soon as their wishes were granted, they disappeared. And so did the stars. And when the first rays of the sun touched the horizon, only 8 of them remained. The wise man then took them to the king and said, "Your Majesty, I am sorry, but your illness has lasted too long." Now, on the other side of the lake, she reached the castle just in time, because the king had become very weak by then. She once again reached the castle safely and gave the king more water. He rewarded each maiden for their bravery. And you know what? The end of Once upon a time, there was a farmer who lived in a village with his son. After walking for a while, they came across a small cottage